Thank the gentlelady for yielding me some time. Mr. Speaker, I rise in opposition to this program and to this bill, and I would once again remind my colleagues that this program is a very, very bad deal for my constituents in the great state of Michigan, the Great Lakes state. In fact, it's a bad deal for most all the states that are in the Great Lakes Basin. As an example, my constituents in Michigan are paying very high flood insurance premiums, yet we rarely receive any claims. And I will give you examples. Since we've instituted this flood program in the nation since 1978, in Michigan we've received $44 million in claims. However, we've paid in over $200 million during that time in premiums. This year alone in Michigan, our citizens are going to pay $19 million in claims, which means that in just 2 years, of paying premiums, we will have covered all of our losses for the last 32 years. In fact, a GAO report on this program that was published in April found that nearly 1 in 4 property owners are paying subsidized rates for their flood insurance that do not reflect the full risk of their flooding. This same report found that repetitive losses represent only 1% of all of the policies, but over 25% of all the claims. In short, we keep paying over and over and over again claims for some Americans to live in flood-prone areas, and it is no wonder that this program is $19 billion in debt. Unfortunately, the Rules Committee didn't make one of my amendments in order that would have addressed this problem of repetitive losses. And this is the case in so many properties. They just keep rebuilding and refiling their claims over and over and over again. And I just don't think that's fair to the rest of the nation. If you insist on rebuilding, then you should assume the risk. Quite frankly, my home state of Michigan feels like the ATM machine for this flood program. I think this program is very, very unfair. One thing I would say in Michigan, we actually look down at the water. We don't look up at the water. And we are very sympathetic, Mr. Speaker, very sympathetic to areas in other parts of the country that are prone to floods, that are prone to hurricanes, etc. We appreciate the challenges that they face, but I don't think it's fair that citizens in a state like Michigan have to pay for all those kinds of things. I think we need to have a national catastrophic fund that establishes more fairly the burden on this, rather than looking for states like Michigan. Now, I'm not opposed to redigitizing the maps and using the state-of-the-art technology that is happening. I think that's very important. We want to know the elevations, the proper elevations. You can use it for planning, local municipalities need it, etc. But in Michigan, I can tell you tens of thousands of properties that are now being included in this floodplain that have never been included previously, that have no history of flooding. In the last couple of years, the Great Lakes have had historic lows. I'm going to be voting against this. I urge my colleagues to vote against this bill, Mr. Speaker, and I would yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlelady yields back her time. Gentlelady from California.
Thank you very much. I yield to myself 30 seconds to